How you doing, everyone? 3 matches feature here on your Saturday in round 25 for Draftstars. Warriors v Titans should be fairly high scoring. Dragons v Broncos will be an interesting one. And then the Cowboys v Panthers. Just being aware that the Panthers are resting the majority of their players, so there will be some options here in terms of cheaper guys that would be able to fill a role in potentially something. There could be a bench guy that's getting a starting role now. So just be aware of that when we go through this. But the outside backs, obviously some strong options up top. Guys like Drinkwater, who just re-signed to the end of 2027, which is exciting. He should be able to get out and have a good game. But at worst, you're getting like a 40 from him, which at 19k isn't exactly what you're looking for, but he's a solid one. Zach Lomax, so 15,500. He's obviously in a pretty good position there. You got Jaden Campbell, who should be able to come out and do pretty well against the Warriors. And then a mixture of these sort of middle range guys that all could do okay. I'm not going to pick any of them for you to throw some money at. We've got Jojo Fafita, who's coming off 2 decent games, 38 and a 51. Just under 11k would definitely do the job. You got Tautau Monga, who the last 2 games has done really well, got tries in each of them. So at 10,500, he could come out and do the same thing again. And looking at some outside backs, so Charlie Staines had an interesting one a few weeks ago when he played in that fullback role. He has 2 big scores, a 47 and a 58. So if the Panthers can stick in this game at all, then he could be a decent one, along with guys like Robert Jennings, Christian Crichton. Thomas Jenkins has had some decent raps on him. He's been doing really, really well in New South Wales Cup, so he's an interesting one at 9,970. And we've seen what Taruv has been able to do in that one full game at on the wing and got 34.6. So some solid guys there, and no one else I would look at in the outside backs. For the halves and the hookers there, we've got Sean O'Sullivan, obviously the clear top gun for the Panthers this week, but how well will they go against the Cowboys with a pretty full strength team that they have? Will we get somewhere close to a 50 of what he's been getting the few weeks before last week's 82? That's going to be the general question you need to ask yourself in that one. Reece Robson, could he get a try or a try assist in this one? Could he get an early mark? There's potential for all of those options. I think guys like Reynolds obviously coming off a real low one considering he went off early. I just would steer clear of him at 19k, and I'd be going for guys like Brimson who have shown so much potential to absolutely kill it. In 3 of the last 4 games, he's got 48 plus, so at 18.7. 1,000 there, he's a great option. There's a chance that Dearden comes back into the side, but I wouldn't be looking at him. If he's out though, you've got Chad, who's going to completely dominate this game, and I think he would be a great option, especially if Tommy Dearden's not there. Hemiso's not going to kick too much in that 6 role. Tanner Boyd's been killing it. I think you just pick him again. 4 of these last 5 games, he's 50 odd plus at 15k. He just has to be in your side. Lower than that, you got Amone, who came off a really low one last week, and I think he's just going to be the scary one. Could go absolutely nuts, could have a bit of a shocker. We don't have Dejan RC playing. We've got Kurt Falls at 11.3, so he's an interesting one as well, who got the 56 in that first game and then a low one the second time he went round. You got Mitch Kenny here, who could play some big minutes as well. So there's a bunch of guys at that cheaper range if you're looking for someone for your flex, I'd say, or potentially your main guy. Jaden Sullivan in that 9 again could be solid. And you got Tyson Gamble in the 6 for the Broncos. He's always a solid scorer when he gets a decent chance to play. And all of that cheaper price is, they're definitely interesting for sure. And you got Sam McIntyre's 2 games in a row now, not great scoring, 32 in his last one, which is okay. If you want someone that could get somewhere around that, then he's your man in that game. Fafita and Tino for Asula Malaawi have been scoring really, really well. 22,000 and above for both. Obviously, you're paying through the nose a little bit, but with averages of what they have currently been putting up, it's the last game of the year. They'd like to have a good win up against the Warriors, which again, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. Warriors have been playing a lot better at home. Ruben Cotter, obviously, the last game wasn't his best. I definitely think he can bounce back, but the minutes that he got last week wasn't ideal. Payne Haas, obviously, the last 3 of the last 4 basically haven't been that great, so I think you can steer clear of him as well. We just see Pat Carrigan come back into the mix. And if you're looking at someone like Jack Bird, I think his price exceeds a bit of what he could develop, what he could end up with for you. I think under 50 is where he's going to be somewhere around this game. For example, Beaufort Moore's been scoring a lot of tries as well, so could he come out and do the same? Definitely, but it's playing almost 21,000 for him now, which I think is a fair bit. Pat Carrigan, a bit up and down with his scoring as well, but they need him to come out and have an absolute blinder. He has been missing the last bunch of weeks, so that might be the slight worry with him, but all in all, they need him for sure. That could be the play this week. Adam Finnell-Blake, not great last week, but before that, the 3 games, he was absolutely killing it. So 17.6 around that price, you could have a play on that one. Yeah, Josh Curran there is averaging 45 in the last 3, so that includes a 59, so 2 under 40 scores, so it's a bit scary to be honest. You've got Matt Eisenhuth, who I would expect to have a big game in this one, so I think at 15,000, he's priced that way for a reason. They also, Draftstars also think he's going to have a big one. And then you got Scott Sorensen, I think is probably more of a play as well. Anytime he gets good minutes, he gets some decent points out of it. Blake Laurie is obviously solid as well. Mode 4 to wake up, 13-3, has had a good game, but many low ones in between that. You got Chris Smith in that 11 role, so went better last week at 38, but again, not standing out by any stretch. Bunty Afoa in the 13 has scored 2 decent ones of recent time as well. And we're getting into guys now, you're looking to score somewhere around that 30 plus. If Zach Hosking ends up getting named in the 11 jersey or 12 jersey for Jordan Ricky, then he's a definite auto pick. You need him definitely. And then you got guys like Lindsay Smith as well, who's an interesting one. Getting that 8 jersey could get some decent minutes and a decent score, and then potentially some bench guys, but not a lot that you want to be too excited about in the rest of those games. But that is the Saturday Draftstars preview, guys. I hope you have a cracking day. Jump into that description, hit that link, guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. See you later.